My name is Jordan Bredenberg, and this is my final presentation. To introduce the company a little bit, my name is Jordan Bredenberg. I am the CEO of JLB Frames. My qualifications include multimedia content creator for TMN here in Hays, Kansas, a sports photographer for FHSU athletics, for baseball, football, and soccer, a little bit of basketball. I'm also the women's semi-pro soccer social media manager and the graphic designer for FHSU football. We are a small media company out of Hays, Kansas, and for this project, my responsibilities were to create the content calendar. I created all graphics for the social. I shot, edited all photo and video content. I posted according to the content calendar. I researched trends and followed data analytics, and I worked with the team on any brand ideals. To introduce the client, my client for this semester was the Fort Hays State women's soccer team. They compete in Division II soccer in the MIAA. Based in Hays, Kansas, the Tigers have established themselves as a competitive program with the conference. The soccer program emphasizes player development and competitive play with the MIAA. The coaching staff is dedicated to fostering a strong team culture and preparing athletes for success both on and off the field. The values that we are bringing and we are receiving from this project for FHSU Women's Soccer, they received a cohesive brand strategy, an increased viewership of all platforms, a new recruiting platform, and an updated content calendar. JLB Frames received the opportunity to work with a collegiate team in the NCAA, additional experience with video, audio, editing, and filming, as well as being able to read and adapt to data analytics. A little bit of the project overview. So this project was completed over a 6-month period. It included a partnership between FHSU Women's Soccer and JLB Frames, completing the goals of strengthening the team's digital presence across their current platforms that they had. FHSU sought out a cohesive brand to reach an audience of aspiring soccer players to come to the college level. In specific, JLB Frames introduced an X platform, formerly of Twitter, account. They increased traffic to TikTok accounts, created a sustainable brand for Instagram, and they created a high-level content that related the team's values. So the primary objective of this initiative was to elevate the digital presence and brand identity of FHSU Women's Soccer through a comprehensive and data-driven social media strategy. This 6-month project was executed in collaboration with a dedicated media team in JLB Frames and focused on the following measurable and strategic goals. So we were looking to we expanded the social media reach and follower base. We obtained a structured and consistent content calendar. We established and upheld brand consistency. We enhanced the storytelling on multiple platforms, and we utilized data analytics for performance monitoring and strategic adjustments. Moving on to the project goals at the original point of this project were to have a 10% follower increase on TikTok, have an 150 follower increase and increased engagement on Instagram, as well as establish the account of X in addition to a 100 follower increase. Our qualitative project goals were to maintain a posting schedule, which was successfully obtained through organized content calendar in Notion, especially seen through TikTok platforms consisting of Question of the Day, which we called Tuesdays, which was a series that was filmed Mondays and posted every Tuesday. Next was ensuring brand consistency. We obtained this through a brand guideline, which was the same font, typeface, quality, that stayed same, if not a similar design that looked relatively close, across all platforms to ensure uniformity. Next would be a recognizable storytelling across all platforms. This was achieved through TikTok trends and university-led initiatives that the team participated in. This was shown in both TikTok and Instagram platforms. Our next would be strengthen player branding. This was succeeded through TikTok trends that enhanced the personalities of the players to reveal player branding to any potential brand deal that they wanted to do moving forward. Lastly, the players and the staff becoming more actively involved in the content. This was achieved by involving coaches in a few pieces of content that you'll see later, introducing new faces to the content, and involving all parts of the team with different questions or content that fit all areas and personalities. A little bit into our final results. So here you can see one of our goals was to increase following. That was one of our quantitative goals. Here you can see some of the charts. So with the goal of increasing follower count on all platforms, we unfortunately were not able to reach our goal of achieving a 150 follower increase on Instagram. However, increased 46 This is often going to be an up and down number via people committing to other places and unfollowing, and people wanting to come here and following again. Gratefully, we were able to hit our 10% follower increase on TikTok with an additional 34 followers, and increasing daily. On X, it was similar to Instagram with an unfortunately slow start. Gratefully, we were able to establish the account. Unfortunately, the following did not follow and will be continuously worked on going into fall of 2025. Our next goal was to obtain a completed content calendar between me and the client and I. The goal of finding and completing an organized content calendar for both the client and JLB Frames to view. This was created in the early stages to help keep a consistent posting schedule. The following shows the completed weeks as well as the goals for the future posting. This calendar details the status, if it was done, in progress, or not even started. Due date, when I wanted it due, and in a drive that we shared. Priority, if it was something that we were just going to have fun with or something that really did need to be posted, like a game day post. Next was the tag, so where I wanted it to be posted, whether that be X, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And lastly, any notes. You can see on this, you can see any Q's day had the question that we were going to be using that day. Other notes include if it was posted or not, or when the content would be filmed. Next was brand consistency. So below shows our clients' social platforms through Instagram, TikTok, and X. They keep a consistent brand strategy in terms of color, font type, and quality. This was achieved through a new strategy for the spring. That meaning in the fall, we didn't have any type of brand strategy, and I brought this in, so kind of moving from one brand strategy, or lack thereof, to a new one, and having it be somewhat seamless. Next would be enhanced storytelling. So here you can see that 2/3 of our platforms were open to storytelling aspects. On the platform Instagram, we showed celebrations or personal pictures for Senior Day that gave emotion to our page. You can see this here in the top left corner. Milestones, this is one of our freshmen in the spring who scored their first collegiate goal. But down at the bottom, we were able to go to Night to Shine, which is a giving opportunity that showed what we do in our free time and what FHSU soccer has in terms of values. Here in the middle, just some personality content, some pictures of the seniors when they were kids, kind of brings a little bit of emotion and humanity to the team, I guess. Here, on the right, you can see a get to know the players. The question of the day that day was, what is your name and what does the team call you? This is crucial because it connects our followers to us. They get to be able to put a face to a name and get in with the team of kind of what we have nicknames. What are they, and if they use them when they come to the park with us. Finally would be our data analyzation. So through the data, we're able to promote the platforms as best as possible. Large examples can include the age group we were promoting to, when people were most often on the device, date and time, as you can see in this slide, the amount of impressions on a post based on what the content contained, and lastly, views and interactions from followers to non-followers. Here's an example for TikTok. Our age of viewers was obviously an 18 to 24 range, some of our college students, which was our key goal. So we definitely did complete that. And here on the right, this information is important because JLB Frames found a large amount of the clientele were on their phones most often on Tuesdays between the times of 10 and 1. Therefore, we created a series that was filmed on Mondays and posted on Tuesdays between the time of 10 and 1, which is a large gap, but it always got great views and great following. Next would be the data analyzation of Twitter, which obviously wasn't our most engaged platform, unfortunately. It was new for the client. We got it up and running, and we will be looking to use that further into the future. Lastly, Instagram. This is the client's main form of communication in the community. On the left, you can see the data set with views, interactions, and likes over the span of the projects, what posts were completed. The information helped us with what the viewers liked seeing on the platforms in terms of whether they liked more pictures or graphics or any other type of reels that we could have thrown in there. On the right, the data shows that over the span there was an increase in viewership and interaction to the content that was being posted, so an increase of 1,289 interactions, which was great to see because that was one of our qualitative goals as far as Instagram. Next, you can see that we had a large amount of non-followers viewing the content account, which is our target audience. This is indicated with the lower white line here on the bottom. And that means that people that we want to come to the university are viewing that, people who are not clicking on our account right away but are looking at it, and we want that type of interaction. I want to give you a little in-depth of kind of what we did with the project. What does that look like? This is our Twitter account. You can see it was created in March of 2025. We have some tweets, our posts, as you can see. We posted a little bit of what our social media accounts look like, as well as that we are new to the account and we are ready to be posting. This work on this account will continue in the fall of 2025. So you can see here is Instagram. I wanted to put the follower account on there because I do think it is really important that we did increase following to almost 50 people. You can see on the left that there are a lot of different yellows, a lot of different colors. It didn't look very cohesive. And on the right, you can see that there was more pictures posted. All the fonts were very, very similar, and all the yellows were the same. So that's kind of the brand strategy that we came up with that you can see here in full color. Next, you can see TikTok. We increased from 67 followers to 102 followers. You can see here that we made hype videos before any type of spring game, Tuesdays, which became popular, like I had mentioned, which were Question Tuesdays. Year recap, we had a 2024 recap that we kind of put together at the end, as well as fun different trends. So for the Masters, I kind of took that logo and made it into the Tigers tournament, and you will see a little bit that in the next video, a little bit of a recap. Yeah, so that was a little bit of our TikToks that we had filmed for the client this summer, or this spring semester, excuse me. You are able to see those more in depth on our TikTok account, as well as they are linked in the previous slide on this presentation. Some problems that I encountered were time management on a constantly changing schedule. So if practice was canceled, I wouldn't be able to get content that day. That made me put a day behind, or content wasn't able to be posted. Trends moving in and out of popularity. Trends are very in and out in a matter of seconds. So if something wasn't filmed right away, and by the time I filmed it and edited it, the trend could already be out, therefore it's not worth posting. Next would be underestimated editing filming time. I think a lot of people overlook how long it takes to make a 30 second to 1 minute video. And that definitely was me going into this, so definitely learning how to time manage that a little better as well. As well as participation from the team. Sometimes I did run into people not liking the question of the day or not liking the trend we were going to do, which lacked participation. So definitely like a learning curve. That is part of one of my lessons learned as well. Or the coaches needing the team very quickly before practice provided me not a lot of time and people to work with at that rate. Some of my lessons learned were be loud and confident with your ideas. There have been a couple times that I went to the coaches and I asked to go forward with an idea, and sometimes they aren't easy, but I think as long as I was confident in it, they were confident in me, and that helped our relationship moving forward. Just because something doesn't go well doesn't mean it was a complete fail. It's hard in the industry to get the amount of likes you're always looking for, but that doesn't mean something wasn't great that you put out. It just didn't get the popularity, and that's okay. Another video, another day. Content is content. Putting out as much of it you can sometimes is the best way to go about it. People want to see what's going on. They want to see their kids. They want to see what your program's about, and trying to get that out as much as possible is very crucial. The scale of importance. How important is that content you're putting out? Is it just something funny? Can it wait? Does it really need to be taken time out of? Things like that. Thank you so much for making it this far. This project was such a blast, and I was Very excited to work with this client. With that being said, JLB Frames will be working with FHSU Women's Soccer, returning for fall of 2025.